Right now there are over 200 games on the Nintendo eShop on sale. That's a staggering number. I'm James Zamera here at SwitchWatch, and I'm here to help you sift through those and find some games that are actually worth buying. Let's take a look at 15 games on the eShop worth considering. First up, it's a novel title by the name of Serial Cleaner. It has you playing as a professional crime scene cleaner for the mob. It's a brilliant little take on an action stealth adventure. It's 2D top-down, fast-paced, and it has a really cool retro 70s style about it. This is the kind of game that has a really great concept, and when you play it, it's a blast for a short amount of time before it becomes frustrating and some of the flaws do start to shine through. At full price, it's maybe worth missing, but at 90% off, you're definitely going to enjoy this one for a couple of hours. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a game that needs no introductions. It's a spiritual successor to the Castlevania series and an excellent game in its own right. As a game that's not been out for too long, it's good to see it on sale. Now, there are some imperfections with the Nintendo Switch version which we covered fully in our review, and you can check that out by clicking up at the top right hand corner. When you think about retro shmups, games like Iroh Hero are exactly what stand out. 3 lives, no continue mechanics, and solid controls. When he reviewed this one, our resident shmup guru Jordan reckoned that this was one of the hardest shmups available. So if you're in for a challenge, then take a look at this one, currently with a nice hefty discount on it. If you're after a very different kind of shmup, then Blackburg might be the one for you. It's got beautiful visuals, stunning design, a great soundtrack, and what let it down at the time was its price. At 50% off, I would definitely reconsider this one if you haven't already picked it up. I remember back when this one was being reviewed by Juan, I visited his house and he booted this one up and said have a go. I didn't know anything about it and I was enthralled for quite some time after the initial shock of thinking, what the hell am I playing here? Yes, it's definitely a weird one. Hyper Sentinel is a trip down memory lane. It's a nostalgic hit, a love letter to the games from the Spectrum and around that type of era. It's an arcade shooter that features power-ups, boss battles and all the kind of things that you can remember from back in the day. With online leaderboards and different difficulties, this is the perfect game for those out there who want to chase that big score. Super One More Jump is a one-button arcade platformer. It's one of those really addictive games that has very simple and yet hard to complete mechanics. There's also a very devilish co-op mode, so this is one worth buying if you're going to have some mates over in the next couple of weeks. Space Ribbon is a racing game set in the future that reminds me of some kind of cross between Wipeout and something like Mario Kart. It's probably in truth one of the worst games on this list. It's not to say it's not good. One of the things about it that's unique is its procedurally generated tracks. But the reason it's on this list is because it's really good fun playing multiplayer. If it wasn't on sale, I would say it's one probably worth missing. But as it's so cheap, I think you can cram a few good fun hours out of this one. Silence is a beautiful looking and great sounding game. It's a visual novel point and click adventure that would take you around 6 hours to complete. What stood out to me when I played this was the opening scene. It's very, very moving. The game is good fun to play, but as it is only 6 hours, the full price is high. On sale, it might be worth looking at again if you enjoy a point and click adventure.
Are you able to do the right thing this time, Sadwick?
Urban Trial Playground is a Switch exclusive stunt bike game. It's very simple, perhaps overly so in some ways. Ultimately what you're after is just completing levels and getting high scores. Somehow it kept me hooked. It reminds me quite a lot actually of games like Tony Hawk back on PS1. If you enjoy that type of game, just playing solo, busting a few tricks and having a fairly casual experience, then you might enjoy this one. Pinstripe is a wonderfully creepy puzzle adventure game. This one is all about the storytelling, the graphics, the audio, the experience basically. The gameplay takes a bit of a back seat. This one was developed by one man over a period of 5 years, which is an incredible feat, you have to say. Velocity 2x does exactly what it says on the tin. It's twitch fast in terms of its pace. There's good value to be had here, as the campaign will last over 10 hours, and ultimately this is all about speed running. As you get further in and you do better, you'll unlock new content, you'll unlock new levels, new areas, and there's online leaderboards to keep you coming back for more. Binaries is a tricky puzzle game with an interesting mechanic. You control two balls, but the catch is only with one stick, so as you move and jump, both balls react together, so it can become really tricky to figure out how to get through each stage. Of course, they start out quite easy and very soon ramp up to devilish difficulty. There's over 100 levels and plenty here to keep you coming back for more. 30-in-1 Game Collection Volumes 1 and Volume 2 are collections of simple mini games that you can play with family, and that really is the intention here. It's get around the console and get everyone playing together, having a laugh. The games themselves are quite simple, but if you do like to have a Friday night board game, this is the similar kind of mentality. If you're looking to play Smash Bros but don't want to pay the money, then Brawl Out is basically the game that you would buy. It looks like quite a casual game, but it's not. It's quite focused on the competitive scene. It's a pretty good game, a pretty good title. Of course, it isn't Smash Bros. It's not going to be as good, but at 60% off if you're looking for something alternative, or like I said, you just don't want to fork out the cash for Smash Bros, then you might want to pick this one up. The Gardens Between is a short and yet very endearing title. It's a puzzle adventure that plays with time bending, warping, and features an intriguing tale about friendship. It's a clever and slick game that has great visuals and audio. The main thing that let it down was its price, given how short it is. And that's it from me today, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for sticking with me and watching it. Let me know what games intrigue you and if there are any other bargains that you want to pick up. I'm James O'Meara and I hope to see you on our next video. Until then, take care.